Unquestionably, the greatest pitcher in the history of this franchise, the great Jim Palmer. Now, joining him today at this special day, a star-studded lineup of special guests. We start, of course, with Jim's wife, Susan, and his stepson, Spencer. Spencer, how you doing? Jim's daughters, Kelly and Jamie. Joining us on stage, representing the Orioles ownership, is Luis Angelos. We'd also like to welcome back the Baltimore City Council President, Jack Young. Jack, thanks for coming. We are honored today with the Tigers in town to have a true Baltimore legend with us. He is a Hall of Famer. He went to Southern High School in Federal Hill, 15 All-Star appearances, 10 Gold Gloves, 3,000 hits, and he picked up number 3,000 at Memorial Stadium against Dave McNally. How about that? Al Kaline is with us. Al. Wow. Orioles Executive Vice President of Baseball Operations, Dan Duquette. Please give a warm welcome to the Orioles manager, Buck Showalter. Buck. And it's nice of several of the current Orioles to come out. Darren O'Day, Jim Johnson, Troy Patton, Miguel Gonzalez, and Adam Jones. Adam says he wants to hit against you. Apparently he says he can take you deep. Is that true? He says now you can. We'd also like to welcome back Orioles Hall of Famers, Brady Anderson, Mike Bordick, the Bee, Al Bunbury. There's the Bee. Rick Dempsey. Dick Hall. Billy Hunter. And Boo Powell. We'd also like to welcome some of the others who have been honored or will be honored with their own sculptures. Fellow Hall of Famers, Earl Weaver. Number 33, Eddie Murray. Number 8, Cal Ripken. And folks, how about a big round of applause for number 5, Brooks Robinson. Brooksy. Great to have you back with us, Brooksy. We'd also like to welcome Gary and Judy Siegel, the owners of the New Arts Foundry in Baltimore. That's where Jim's sculpture, along with the other 5 sculptures, were cast in bronze. And the Orioles are grateful to be able to use a local business on the project, and they thank both for playing such an important role in this series. And also joining us here today, Toby Mendez, the local sculptor, who created all 6 of the sculptures. Yeah, give him a round of applause. Did an outstanding job. Toby is joined by several members of his family, including his partner, Kathy Siebert. Toby, thanks for your great work over the past 2 years. You've already impressed us with the likenesses of Frank and with Earl, and we're excited to see what lies under the curtain for number 22, Jim Palmer. Now, Jim will be talking to us soon, but first we'd like to welcome up a former Oriole outfielder and a teammate of Jim's. He's a fellow broadcaster, but he broadcasts for that other team in the division. You know, that Yankee team. But we love him because he's an Oriole forever. He is, in fact, an Oriole Hall of Famer. Please welcome to the stage number 29, Ken Singleton.
Thank you, Jim. When I was thinking about what I was going to say today, first thing that came to my mind, the reason why we're all here is to honor the greatest pitcher in Orioles history, and that's without a doubt. I had the good fortune of being Jim's teammate for 10 seasons with the Orioles, and to watch his greatness every 4 days. Now it will be every 5 days, and I have a feeling eventually it's going to be 6-man rotations. That's what's next. But anyway, I was thinking about all the great games that Jim pitched while I was in the outfield or designated hitter. And there's one that came to my mind, and it was opening day in Detroit, 1975. It was my first game with the Orioles. We had gotten snowed out the day before, and why they opened the season in Detroit, I don't know why. But anyway, it was about 34 degrees, it was freezing, and Jim pitched a 3-hit shutout that day. The Orioles won 10-0, and that was the first of his 25 complete games that year. And all the things I had heard over the National League about Jim Palmer certainly came true that day, and they would come true for the next 10 years. That particular day, it was my first at bat. Earl had the genius to lead me off that year. I stole 3 bases for him. But it was all about getting on base. My first time up in the American League, I drew a walk, and I scored on a 3-run homer. And Earl said, "That's basically what I'm talking about. I just want you to get on base." Eddie, I'm the one talking, Ed. You notice he's sitting very close to Earl. There's a good reason for that. As all the former Orioles know, right, Jim? Yeah, that's right, number 1. Well, anyway, I was looking at the Frank statue, and it just symbolizes the power of Frank Robinson. I was looking at Earl's statue, and he has sort of an inquisitive look on his face, as if he's asking Rick Dempsey, "Why'd you call that pitch?" But certainly, these are the greatness of our franchise, the Orioles, the greatest players and manager in the history of this team. And there's a reason why they not only have statues here, but they have plaques in Cooperstown as well. During the 10 years I was with the Orioles, we won more games than any other team in baseball. 903 regular season wins. And it was a pleasure to come to the ballpark and have teammates like Jim and Eddie and Cal and all the rest of them. Al, where's Al Bunbury? Al's here, I know, if I don't include him. Yeah. And Depper. Not only were they good players, but they're great people, and I'm glad to call them my friends to this day. And Jim, I want to congratulate you on this statue, which means years from now when people are walking through this courtyard and there's a grandfather with his grandson and they look at the statue and they want to know, maybe the grandpa could tell them the greatness of Jim Palmer, the best pitcher the Orioles ever had. Congratulations, Jim.
Now, we do have to get something straight here, Eddie. At the luncheon today, there's something going on about who was Earl's favorite.
And what did you hear?
And the legend is that Earl's favorite always was Eddie Murray, as Ken just alluded to. Come on, Eddie. There you go, Brooksy. There you go. Okay. However, Eddie asked Earl in front of the room of people, "Who was your favorite?" He said, "Eddie, you know it was Ken Singleton." We have witnesses, Kenny, so from now on forward, you are Earl's guy. We'd now like to welcome up to the stage another one of Jim's former teammates from his earlier years. Please welcome back to Baltimore, Davey Leonard. Dave.
You know, I'm really, I have to apologize. I thought this was a roast for Jim. And all my stuff is, you know, negative. I do have one story that illustrate his competitive nature. We arranged a golf tournament, a golf match, Jim and I, at the Doral and Blue Monster in South Florida, late one winter, just before spring training. And it was a sparkling South Florida day. The course was beautiful, and it was, you know, two old friends who hadn't seen, I'd been away for a couple of months in winter ball, so we hadn't seen each other for a while. And it was just a really nice experience. After 9 holes, I'm adding up the score, And you all know Jim is a scratcher, almost scratch golfer. I'm heading up the score, and I'm having a career round. I shot like 39 or 40, and I'm beating him by a stroke. So I say to him, "Hey, Rooms, I'm kicking your ass." And he says to me, I expected him to say to me, "Really? Wait till we get to the end." But instead he says something nice about my golf and goes on. So the next hole, he picks up some grass and puts it up in the air to test the wind. Now, the whole time we've been playing, he's not been testing the wind. And then I notice he's having trouble getting his hands together on the club right. It takes him like 20 seconds to get comfortable. And then he's another 20 seconds getting his feet right. And I'm saying, uh-oh, this is not the way it's been. He smokes his drive about 330 down the center with a little draw on it, and you know where this story's going. He ends up shooting a 31, which to this day is the best round anyone's ever, best 9 holes anyone's ever played when I'm golfing with him. And I reverted to form, and he ended up beating me by like 15 strokes. But I have to say, I have to say some negative stuff because I planned all this, and I'm not going to forget about it. Jim has probably caused me more aggravation than any other human being, probably anywhere. For instance, about 2 years ago in Palm Beach, some guy mistook me for his father. That's aggravating. Jim taught me how to play golf, got me interested in golf, and taught me how to play. And if you could see the way I've been playing the last 2 months, this is even greater aggravation. But in 1969, in a bar in Boston, Jim introduced me to my wife. World-class aggravation. No, seriously, I'm going to set the record straight on that for my own health. Both those relationships I've cherished over the years. We've been friends, Jim and I, since 1964. And I hope the relationships stay just the way they are for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. I wish we could have heard some of those stories. You're a witness. He tells us all these things. We don't know if it's true because he's the only one that knows. We're going to have that talk later. Now, let me bring up to the stage here, representing the Orioles ownership. Please welcome Mr. Louis Angelos. Lou.
Well, thank you, Jim, and thanks to Ken Singleton and Dave Leonard for sharing their memories of Jim's amazing